here on Sukhbaatar Square. Behind me is the parliament building with the statue of Genghin Khan just behind of me. And Sukhbaatar was another hero of Mongolia. His statue is over there. I think there's like a wedding going on. And some people are wearing traditional costumes here. This very nice parliament building with the flag of Mongolia on top. Country 101. So this is Sukhbaatar and this is Sukhbaatar Square in the center of Ulaanbaatar, capital city of Mongolia. And this one here is the opera house. And this green building over here is the city hall. Next to it we have the bank, and then next to that one the stock exchange building. So this is the bank, and this white building on the corner here is the stock exchange of Mongolia, National Museum of Mongolia. There's a lot of traffic here in Ulaanbaatar. It took me 2 hours from the airport to get to the city center where I'm staying, where my hotel is. I think over there we have another museum. I think this one could be the Genghin Khan Museum. And here we have another museum, the Natural History Museum. It has a lot of Soviet signs. I see Lenin over there, I see Marx over there. So, Soviet communism leftover from the times when Mongolia was a satellite state of the Soviet Union. Here we have a street with bars, restaurants. As you can see, there's a Pizza Hut. Victorian houses. It's this style. It reminds me about the Victorian houses actually in San Francisco in California. They also look like this. Except that here they're more colorful. And here in Ulaanbaatar we have a Beatles Monument. The Beatles never came here, but this was a monument, I think, from the 80s. Basically the youth in Mongolia in the 60s, 70s, they listened to the Beatles. It was like listening to forbidden music, because in those times Mongolia was like a satellite state of the Soviet Union. And Western music was not allowed. People could only listen it like illegally somewhere. And they wanted to tear this statue down, but in 2017 the people here, they protested, and it still stays here. On the other side, however, of this monument, you will see that there is like one guy playing on the guitar here. This symbolizes actually the Mongolian youth playing and listening to Western music, inspired by listening to Western music. And here we have two big peacocks. This is the State Puppet Theater. I see Mongolians with Mongolian costumes. Ulaanbaatar, for once non-written in Cyrillic. I'm here at the Choijin Lama Temple Museum. They said that today is a discount price because the main temple is closed and the others should be open, so I'm just gonna check out what's open then. So in the middle of the city you have this temple, and here high-rise buildings. Where have I seen this before? I've seen in Seoul the same thing. You have a temple and then next to it high-rise buildings. The lady is opening the door there, so I'm gonna check out there. However, I don't think I will be allowed to film because I wasn't allowed to film in the other one. This was the zoo temple that I was in. ZW. These little temples you can visit, but you cannot take photos or film, so I didn't do that. And now I'm gonna go visit the next one. So this is the only thing I can share actually, how it looks from the outside. So inside this temple was actually a lot of Buddha statues in all of them, but some of them are like from the 17th century, the 16th century, so a lot of really old stuff. So that was the Choijin Lama Temple. So here I am visiting the Gandantegchinlen Monastery in Ulaanbaatar. This belongs to the Tibetan Buddhism. This Buddhism they practice in Tibet and also in Mongolia. Statue of the first Bogd Lama here in Mongolia. Gandantegchinlen Monastery. This is the biggest one.
Yes. Also the most important one.
And the most important one in the country. So I'm gonna go into this temple and see the Jan Resik statue. Tibetan Buddhism god. Here we see the god of the moon. Over there we have the god of the sun. This is Jan Resik god. And this is the god that is worshipped here in Mongolia and also in Tibet. Here we have pictures of the Dalai Lama from Tibet. So when people turn these, is for prayer or for wishes?
Prayer.
Prayer. camel caravan statue. So here the camel caravan starts with a horse and then followed by camels and a dog. Bogd Khaan statue. This was the last Mongolian king. And on the left side you have the Bogd Khaan Winter Palace. The king's first order for declaring independence of Mongolia. And so here we have in Mongolian language. So this is the winter house of the Winter Palace, where the king stayed during the winter. He was living there, he slept there. This is Russian style, Russian influence. You can see clearly at the windows, even the balcony. And then over there, the rest of the complex has more like Chinese style. Here we have the Buddha in the Zaisan district of the city, blessing this area here, this district, Zaisan. This was a place where rich people used to live in Ulaanbaatar, but now everybody can live here. I'm going up now Zaisan Hill to check out the Soviet monument that's still here. So first I have to take all these steps up. So this monument here on Zaisan Hill is to commemorate the soldiers and the people that died during World War II, mainly of them Russians. And that's why we also see here the Medal of Honor with the face of Lenin. That was the highest medal you can get in the USSR army back then. And next to it, the Medal of Honor for the Mongolian people who fought it in the war. And this is the Sukhbaatar medal. And he was the person that led the communist revolution in 1921 here in Mongolia. And from here you have a panoramic view over the huge stretched out city of Ulaanbaatar. So this is a typical Russian Soviet style monument with mosaic. This is the Bolshevik Revolution with Lenin in the white outfit. Then we got Soviets coming, entering Mongolia. They are having a revolution here in Mongolia in 1921, the Bolshevik Revolution here. Mongolians here in the traditional clothes and habits welcoming the Soviets. Then they fight together against the Japanese imperialists. You can see the Japanese flag on the ground. Then the Russians were defeating the Nazi Germans. So you see the Nazi flag is being crushed down there. And then Mongolian astronaut together with a Russian astronaut in the red suit. So the first Mongolian astronaut, man going into space. Apparently the man is still alive today. So and this monument, this goes just full circle of history that the two nations shared together. And besides that, the view here is just, yeah, it's more than a panoramic view. You get actually a 360 angle view. what is interesting on this building is that in this star we see the word Slava. It's what today the Ukrainians say every time they say Slava Ukraine. So I'm gonna take a closer look now at this Soviet tank that is standing here. It says 1945 Berlin. So was used in the Second World War by the USSR. So this type of tank was manufactured in Mongolia for the USSR army, and with this tank they defeated Nazi Germany. And so Mongolia took one back here to put up as a monument, as a memory of their successful tank that they built for the USSR. Here we have the Mongolian symbol. Mongolia didn't participate in the war, they only helped the USSR army. So with logistics, with of course this tank here. And here we can see what looks a bit like a map, Moscow, Berlin. So they started in 43 to march for Berlin. Another monument here for the Russian soldiers. So this Mongolian symbol here that you also see on the flag, and then here the communist symbol. So this was the symbol of the communist Mongolian times. This monument used to be in the central square of the old Mongolian Empire in the city of Karakorum, which was the capital at that time. And out of the mount of the dragons there used to be tubes, and their liquid was coming out like milk, wine, maybe even water. And this is standing here, and this is also shown on the 5,000 Mongolian bill. Alright, this is how it used to look long time ago. And that's the monument. Genghin Khan sitting on his throne. This is how it looks at night with the lights on. Parliament building, and here I'm in front of the bank and the stock market building over there. Yeah, so there's not many people here at night. And this was Ulaanbaatar, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. What a city this is. Chaotic city. Traffic jam from the morning till the evening, and I don't think it ever stops. Sometimes it takes 3 hours to get into the city. I had a long day. Exhausting trip to Mongolia, that's all I can say. So anyway, thanks for watching, and see you on the next episode.